Hi, this is Sandro with SignalFire. In this video, I'll show you how you can integrate wired devices to the PATRIoT Gateway. So as you know, the PATRIoT Gateway can connect to the SignalFire Wireless nodes. But in this video, I'm going to focus particularly on wired devices. I'm using here the MIOM module. You could also use the SignalFire output module. So the MIOM module needs to be preconditioned in order to communicate with the PATRIoT Gateway. How do you do that? Well, you connect the USB 4-pin cable to the MIOM. Then you launch the SignalFire ToolKit to change its mode to Modbus. That's a very important step. You must change the mode of the MIOM to be in Modbus mode. So watch our other video on how to set up the MIOM module for Modbus communications. So once you do that, you've wired the A and B of the Modbus port here. So you wired A and B to A and B on port 1 or port 2 of the PATRIoT Gateway. So make sure you match A to A, B to B. I've selected here port 1. Once you have done your wiring and the module is configured for Modbus, it is powered, and you can tell if it's powered if the blinking light here is green. Then you can move on to the software. Move on to the PATRIoT Gateway toolkit, and then you can configure the PATRIoT Gateway to communicate with the two. So this is how you do it. So you're going to go to the serial port. So once you open up the PATRIoT Gateway software, so the PATRIoT Gateway software is a module of the SignalFire ToolKit software. So it's a module within the toolkit. So you auto-detect, you're going to click on serial port. I've selected port number 1. So therefore, I need to locate port number 1, enable it. So there's going to be a checkbox. You can enable port 1. The mode, well, in this case, I'm going to select RS-45 because I'm using Modbus. And the protocol, this is where you have to choose between server or client. In this case, I'm going to choose Modbus RTU client. Why? Well, that's because the PATRIoT Gateway will be pulling data from the MIOM module. So it is a client in this case. Then make sure you match the baud rate and the UART mode of the Modbus MIOM module. You hit apply, and this will apply the settings to the PATRIoT Gateway. Second part, well, we need to assign some registers for the PATRIoT Gateway to pull from, right? So I'm going to click on the button here, View, Edit Modbus RTU Client Polling List, and the screen opens up. In this screen, to make it simple, we have this button called the Address Picker. So just click on Address Picker. Next, from the top drop-down, you're going to select, under the SignalFire products, you're going to select the Multi-IO module. And all the lists of all the Modbus registers that are part of the MIOM module are now showing up. So if you would like to, for instance, have the digital input 1 counter, and I would like to have the digital input 1 state, if you're monitoring, for instance, the digital input 1 from a pump or something else that goes on and off, you select those. And then after that, you type in the Modbus ID of that gateway, of the MIOM module, that is. So the Modbus module here, I gave it the ID of 5. So this is where I pre-configured the Modbus settings of the MIOM. I've configured it to address 5, and I set it in Modbus mode, and I'm matching this here in the PATRIoT Gateway. Then I click Apply, and I write those settings to the gateway. And now the PATRIoT Gateway is going to be pulling every second. It's going to be pulling the MIOM module for those 2 registers. Now, if you want to then map those to your SCADA system or have those being used by your SCADA system, We have the other videos that show you how to use MQTT, Ethernet IP, or you can use Modbus TCP, or you can use Modbus RTU as well in order to read those values into your SCADA system or to route them to the SignalFire cloud or your cloud. So in summary, in this video, I've shown you how to configure the MIOM module to communicate with the PATRIoT Gateway such that you can now read wired devices into your SCADA system. Pretty advantages because you don't have to have long cable runs between your system and your transmitters. So watch our other videos on YouTube channel or go on signal-fire.com for more information. Thank you.